I mean, it's still there, but it looks like an indent. Okay guys, so here's the story. I am 13 DPO. My period is supposed to start tomorrow. A quick rundown of what has happened over the past 6 or 7 days. On 7 DPO, I had like an hour of really strong ovulation cramps, or like ovulation pains in the morning when I woke up. And so I did a little research, was wondering maybe is this implantation cramping, and what I felt, it didn't sound like what the internet said it should feel like if I was implanting. But whatever, it came, it went, and I have no explanation for what I felt. And then on 9 DPO, my husband and I had impromptu romantic time. I don't know what else to call it. And for like 2.5 hours afterward, I had a legitimate light flow. I knew it wasn't my period, and I also have a history of bleeding after sex when I'm getting close to my period, but I've never tracked what day past ovulation that it's happened, and 9 DPO, that was like 5 days away from my period, so that seemed really, really early. It was not bright red blood, but it also wasn't brown, so I don't know. It was like this iron colored situation, maybe like more of like a purplish color in the beginning, and then like after an hour, hour and a half, it did turn brown. So I just told myself, okay, maybe this is one of 3 things happening. Number 1, maybe it was implantation bleeding and having sex just sort of like stimulated it to come out. Number 2 is I seem to spot brown blood 2 days before my period starts, and I've read that that means it's old blood that you didn't lose from your previous cycle. I don't know if that's true, but I thought, okay, well maybe that's what it was, and it just sort of got loosened up. Or the third scenario is just that, you know, it happens. There's a lot of blood flow in that area at this time of my cycle, and you know, maybe my cervix just got irritated and whatever. My husband hates when this type of thing happens, so we literally almost never have sex in the entire week leading up to my period. So this was a fluky thing. I don't have much information to go off of. But anyway, so I took a test that morning. I collected my first morning urine sample before we did the deed. For some reason, I don't really know why. I think I was more just antsy and maybe wanting to test. I used a 10 MIU per milliliter extra sensitive test strip. It was completely negative, completely negative. So then 10 DPO came around and I got super anxious and antsy, wondering what happened on 7 DPO and again on 9 DPO with the bleeding. So I decided, okay, I'm gonna test one more time. Completely negative, totally negative. So then I thought, okay, this is not going good. I'm having no symptoms, blah, blah, blah. So I'm just gonna wait and see if my period shows up. I should also mention that I stopped temping at 4 DPO. I realized that taking my daily temperature was causing me a lot of stress and letdown. And I just didn't want to spend my 2-week wait psychoanalyzing temperatures and, you know, so there's no point in it. I already confirmed ovulation, confirmed. So I decided to not temp. So I'm flying a little blind right now. Yesterday was 12 DPO. I took my temp twice. I think I took it once at 11 DPO and then I took it again this morning. And whatever my temperature value was on that day was exactly where it was in all of my other charts on 11 DPO in cycles that I wasn't trying to conceive. So I'm like, all right, it's all adding up. Like we didn't succeed. So today's 13 DPO and I said I wasn't gonna test until 14 DPO when my period is supposed to come. But like, where's the fun in that, right? I didn't really film the 9 DPO and 10 DPO tests, so what the hell? I'm gonna take a 13 DPO test this morning. And one thing I do want to say, and it's mostly the main reason I'm taking this test, is that on 13 DPO of every cycle I've had, my basal body temperature takes its steepest drop. And then on 14 DPO in the morning, it usually goes from here to here on 13 DPO, and then on 14 DPO in the morning, it goes from like here to here. But then always on 14 DPO, my period starts. So that turns into cycle day 1. But I took my temperature this morning and it's up. And between, cycle days 1, 2, 3, 4, on DPO 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 11 and 13, which are the only days I took my temperature and the 2-week wait, it's the highest value of any of those. When I compare it with my other charts, it's not the highest value I've ever gotten, so I can't say it's anything promising. And I was also really snuggled up in bed. So, there's plenty of ways to explain it as just being some sort of anomaly and that I'm not pregnant. I'm having 0 symptoms whatsoever. With my daughter, I had all the symptoms in the book about a week before I got my positive pregnancy test, which was like a week before I missed my period. So did I implant early? Maybe. Is it like a weak egg that isn't producing a lot of HCG and that's why I'm not having symptoms? Maybe. Am I just not pregnant? Probably. But, what the hell? We're gonna do this just for the fun of it, and then we will be on to the next cycle. And I have a lot of things that I'm gonna do a little differently next cycle, so it's not gonna be a bad thing if we weren't successful right now. I'm really enjoying this little journey we're on. So we'll see what the response is to the test strip and go from there. I can't actually say how accurate these are. I feel like not many people talk about them, but these are the 1-step and they're the extra sensitive pregnancy test strip. If I turn it around, you can see, or maybe you can't see, the sensitivity, let's see if I can get it to focus, is 10 MIU per milliliter. I have some WandFos, but I believe the sensitivity for those is either 20 or 25 MIU per milliliter, so theoretically, these require just a little bit more HCG in the urine than a Freer does. So this should show me at this point if anything has happened or not. So we will go ahead and use it. Look guys, I am opening it on camera. I spent so much time talking before this test strip was processing that I'm just gonna zoom through the processing so that this video isn't a million trillion years long, but you can see this is clearly not used. I have my sample over here, which y'all don't need to look at because I'm severely dehydrated. Now these tests, according to the instruction, I need to dip it for at least 10 seconds. The test is readable after 1 minute, but oftentimes is supposed to take the full 5 minutes to process, but you shouldn't read the results after 5 minutes. So there you have it. All right, so we're gonna start with 10 seconds. 1 alligator, 2 All right, so you can see it's moving across the test strip thing. I'm gonna lay it on the counter, I'm gonna cover it up, and I'm gonna start my timer. Okay, it has been 3 minutes now, so we have technically 2 more minutes of processing. But let's just get this over with now, shall we? Oh, that's another thing I don't like about these. There's like a super dye run. It ends up drying out, but it's been this way with all of them. It's like, I don't know what the deal is with that. Anyway, this is superbly negativo. I will say also with this brand that I
you can actually see the outline of where the where the test line should be if it were positive. But there's no color or anything to it. Let's see if I can locate it. It's like a set of scratches on the test frame. I think it's here. Yeah, there's no way you could even see that on the quality of this video though. Anyway, yeah, so this is completely negative. Well, I think this is negative. Yeah, this is, you guys, this is negative. I mean, actually I can't. Oh God, oh my gosh. Okay, this test strip actually doesn't look much like my other two, which were just so clearly negative. But this one I actually think I see it. Oh, it doesn't really show up on the video. Let's see if I can. I don't know. Yeah, it doesn't pick up on the video at all. If I zoom in. Yeah, for all intents and purposes, I'm just going to call this a negative test. But I don't know if you all see that little situation there. There's a bunch of, do you see all these little scratch lines here? Those have been on all of the tests I've taken from this batch. But you know, there's clearly no color in any of them, but hold on, well, my word. You guys, there's actually a little line, but it doesn't show up.
All right, so there actually is a line on this, but just like in January, it is too faint to be picked up by a video. I'm 40 seconds over the 5-minute time frame, so I'm gonna end this video and take a picture real quick and see if I can capture some of the, like what this looks like so that I can obsess over it a little. So hold on.
Do you guys see that line there? Y'all, there's one thing I didn't say in my earlier video, was that in the evening of 10 DPO, I had some pretty gnarly cramping, like period cramps, and I honestly thought that my period was starting early because of the sex that we had and I was bleeding. But you guys, oh my goodness, is that an evap or not? No way. No way. No way.
All right, guys, so it has now been about an hour since I tested. And in that time, I went crazy. I called my husband, I sent him pictures. I messaged 2 of my girlfriends who, you know, we all like to squint at pregnancy tests together. I accidentally sent the pictures to my daughter's preschool teacher instead of my husband because I was so like freaking out. You guys, I can't even believe I did that. Oh my God. And I posted on one of the TTC Facebook groups to get people's opinions because I still am not confident that this is a positive test as opposed to an evap. But all of that to say, it's like I said, it's been an hour since I tested. And the line I saw has faded so much that, I mean, it's still there, but it looks like an indent. I'm not gonna bother. Well, I'll try showing you guys. So what do you all think? Is it an evap? Is it an indent? It's been several hours now and the line has all but disappeared off the test strip. So I didn't know that was a thing that could happen, but apparently it is. Anyway, I will test again tomorrow morning if Aunt Flo hasn't arrived and if my basal body temperature doesn't plummet tomorrow morning. So if you guys see me uploading a video tomorrow morning, hopefully it is good news. But I'm not holding my breath. But thanks for watching, and I will see you guys soon. Bye.